Crazy.
I was crazy once.
They locked me in a room.
A rubbery room.
A rubber room with rats.
The rats made me crazy.
Crazy. I had a crazy week.
Me
And
too.
crazy weekend. Because it's Monday.
Yeah.
The week didn't happen yet.
Crazy weekend.
Oh, hold up. I had the wrong slideshow pulled up. I had a copy pulled up. That explains it. I was like, this feels off. It's because it was off. It's a backup one that I made, not the right one. Yeah, not gonna lie, my weekend was really boring.
Mine was eventful to say the least.
Mine was not.
That
Like I
that's for
said,
Drama Llama. So
like I said for our first stream,
hmm
like not a huge fan of the weekends. Controversial topic. Unpopular opinion. I hate the weekends. The
very
only
unpopular.
weekend, the only weekend that I liked so far was March 29th, March 2nd. Almost said March 3rd, but March 2nd. And whenever the weekend is that I will be riding with JJ.
Yes.
That one will be exciting. Because that should be on a weekend. Unless we did it on a Friday, but I doubt it. I also need to plug this in really quick because I forgot to. I know, I'm throwing. I should have already had this plugged in, of course. Bro, if I can even find the plugin for it. One of those things where, like, you both ways it's wrong. It's wrong both ways, which doesn't even make sense because it's a USB-C. It doesn't have a right or a wrong right way.
No. See? Unplug my phone and swap it around.
Yeah, see, I don't know why I can't do that. I'm not allowed to. Okay, hold on.
Dang.
I'm trying to pull up the stream on my phone. Here we go. That way I can see the chat if anybody says anything, which is unlikely, but hold on, I need to flip it. Can we? No, I'm not allowed to do that. All right, I'll put my phone over here. That way I can view it right side up. I don't think this works. Okay, I'll set it on top of my controller. That that works. Okay. Not ideal, but that works. Actually, wait, can I just take the controller off? Because this is a really good 3D printed stand. Can I just... Oh yeah, I can take the controller off completely and it works fine. We'll do that. Anyways, yeah, my weekend was very uneventful. I did homework.
You did homework?
Talked with JJ a little bit, like mildly. That's it.
Oh, well, a lot happened. That we'll get to in Drama Llama.
Oh, so you have a story.
I have a
Ooh.
story.
I don't have a story for my weekend.
Oh
I don't
boy,
have a
I
story. Not one that I can share at least. Like I'm not able to share it. Kind of thing. Gets a little bit too personal. And it's in doesn't matter. Not something that I'm able to talk about. But it's not that interesting either from an outsider perspective. From an insider perspective, very funny. From an outsider perspective, not really that funny.
Meh.
Anyways, anything else you have to say for parachute time?
No.
All right, get into your story. I don't really have a story for today, so that's on you.
Well, this story comes with receipts,
Okay.
as in screenshots. So
Okay.
I'm reading this straight as I quote, kind of. So my friend's ex, crazy. Okay, we're gonna call him. We're gonna call him. We're gonna call him Josh. Okay.
I
Now
know a
Josh.
guy named Josh.
No,
Probably not who
Josh.
you're talking about, but I know a person named Josh and I don't like him.
Josh. He's not a good person. He he was manipulative, so on and so forth. And he started texting me as if I was my friend. And I quote, "Yeah, I hate you," is what he said. I said, "Why?" He's like, "Because I can't stand you." Bro, first off, you don't even know me. And then he's he's like, "Who are you? Wait, hold up, you're the wrong person." I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, I hate you too."
I stand my ground.
I stand my ground. But yeah, um, and he's like, I'm like, "Why do you hate me?" And then he's like, "I hate your feelings. I hate your fake." I can't say this word. Fake bleep, liberal bleep, love. Bro, where did love come from? And then he's had a history of, uh, like, you know, allowing himself. And I went on to say things about how, like, I was there when no one else was because I was also friends with him.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. Bird is in the Twitch chat.
Where is in the
The
Twitch
person who couldn't be here.
chat?
Yep, we went on without you.
Oh, Bird, we
Tisk tisk.
miss
I'm
you.
disappointed in you, by the way. Bird is here. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. You're here. I can see that because you have the little moderator thing next to your name because I gave you mod. I gave everybody mod. All the three of us mod. So yeah, I know it's
Yeah,
you. I also just know your username. But
yeah.
not the point.
Bird knows the story,
Oh, okay.
but yeah. And so, well, I also used to date him, but
Can
that's
you
a
see the
different
text, the
story.
Twitch
Oh,
chat?
yes, I can actually.
Okay.
And and then he disregards the fact that I helped him through a dark time, and he's like, "That doesn't matter anymore." I'm like, "Bro, I literally saved your life. How does that not matter anymore?" And then he's like, actually, he did say that. He said, actually, I did find someone like that." I'm like, "Bro, what are you, a sixth grader?"
What?
And then,
Is he in our grade?
no, he's a year older.
That's even worse. What? Like, did he actually find a sixth grader, or is that just like a joke?
No, that's just a joke.
Okay. I
And
was worried. I was like, wait, no, what?
no, and then I told him that I had a crush on someone, and then he's like, "Yeah, I bet he's a liberal and a effing feminist with a transgender effing woman area, don't he?"
I'm just gonna
Like,
point this
whoa,
out. If a guy wants to be a feminist, that's not a problem. That is not something that should
that's
be
not a
hated on.
problem.
Because if they want to support equal rights, that shouldn't be a problem. Honestly, it would be more of a problem if you're anti-equal rights. So that's honestly kind of a red flag, just throwing that out there. Also,
Yeah,
this, I don't want to get political. I'm just going to point out that most of the people in our school are Republicans or lean towards the
yeah,
Republican side. Not exactly if they choose to be Republican or
mhm,
liberal or Democrat, whatever, like any of that stuff. But most of the people in our school tend to lean towards the Republican side. But I'm not
mhm.
going to elaborate on that because I don't want to get into politics.
Yeah, but like, it shouldn't matter anyways. Like, at the end of the day, if you're a good person, then so be it.
Mhm. If two people work together, then let them be.
Hmm. And then I went on to say like stuff about my crush, and then he's like, "Good for you, but I really don't give an F." I said, "Sounds like you do," because he was like talking all this smack. He's like,
Hmm.
"How about you just stop talking?" And a little backstory to this, what I'm about to say, what I said in response, was during said relationship, he always had a fight about he was right about things, even if he was wrong, and he knew he was wrong. So I said, how about you admit you're wrong for once in your dang life? And quote. And then he blocked me on everything, which is completely fine. I had the last word is fine.
Hey man, if somebody doesn't want to deal with you and you don't want to deal with them, just block each other, bro. It's not that deep.
Just
It's not that deep, guys. Like
it's
just
not that
just
deep.
just block each other. It's the
Just block
internet.
each
None
other.
of it matters. Newsflash.
None of it matters.
It none of it does matter though. Like it literally doesn't matter.
Well, if you're a public figure and you're publicly posting yourself, then it does matter when it comes to like
Eh,
colleges and stuff.
eh.
Because colleges will look at your social medias to see what you're posting. Same with like if you have like want to apply to a job that like a big corporation or something, they might look into that as well. Like who would want to hire someone whose digital footprint is bad, like controversial, bad?
Um, yeah, I don't know.
Exactly.
That's weird. I was testing a keybind really quick, and
Oh,
I thought the keybind would turn off my camera, but it's toggling the audio of my camera. My camera doesn't have audio, so I don't know what that
what?
is. So that's odd, but whatever.
Mhm.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't have any interesting stories yet, sadly. Maybe I'll
Oh,
have one once the timer is over. Not going to elaborate on
oh,
the timer, but you know what timer I'm talking about. But
yeah,
I don't know. I might have one once that timer is over. Maybe. Most likely not,
I have one.
but maybe.
I
Okay, go on. We
have
still
another
got
one.
we still got more time in Drama Llama. We got more time.
Um, where to start?
Oh well, well.
Okay, so well. But today, and it's not really that dramatic, but I can't say her name. But one of the English teachers, she today she was like, "Oh my god, guys, you need to start being more involved or like I can't speak. Like she's
Uh-huh.
like start answering questions, blah blah blah, and she's like, by doing this, you're disrespecting me, yourselves, school, education. Like, girl, it's not that deep. It's not
I
that
think I
deep.
know what English teacher you're talking about, because I'm pretty sure there's only like one really female English teacher that teaches our grade.
No,
Because
there's two.
oh, there is. See,
Yeah.
I had the best teacher in the school for my English class. I won't say his name, but the APAL teacher. Best teacher in the school.
Real.
Although he's apparently not very chill, he didn't let us record a skit in his room. He was probably locked in grading essays, to be fair. He was probably locked in.
Yeah, bro's always look.
He's locked in. Although
But
I've heard that he's not locked in for his first block, like specifically his first block. But
I don't
APAL
blame
is
him.
taught third and fourth, so that's what it was last term.
But
I think they always do third and fourth for the APAL and A push, no matter what term it is. I think that's like a priority
I
thing.
was I was block 4 last term for him, and I was not APAL.
Oh, see, I'm semester one, and it was fourth block, and then I know he also had one third block. So I guess he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't have one this semester. Maybe he did two APAL classes in the first semester and none in this. Unless he has one third block, I guess. That's unlikely. I know my current
Maybe
A
4th block.
push. A
block.
push I currently have fourth block. So I would imagine that because a lot of people that do APAL do A push. Not all of them. Like there's less people that do A push. I think like half the people. Like half the people that do APAL do A push. I don't know why a lot of people think
Yeah.
that A push is too hard. So like half of the people who do A Pell choose not to, and then the other half is like, well, I'm already doing A Pell, might as well do A push, which is fair. They used to be taught together, but our grade doesn't get to experience that. Tragic. If only I could
Um.
have the best teacher in the school all year round. If only.
Tisk tisk tisk.
When he came in on Friday last week, he was talking because he was talking about the AP exams early May. Ratch said she's gonna go sit in her corner being sad because she's a freshman. Yeah, maybe you'll have him next year. Maybe.
You
Although,
just are a little adopted
based on some of the
rat.
things that we talked about on the first stream, the first podcast, there's a good chance you don't have him next year. But I won't elaborate that on that. I mean, that stream doesn't exist
Don't
anymore, so
worry
people
for
don't know what I'm talking about. There's a rat in her room.
her. Her?
She's the rat. Probably.
She is the rat.
We were talking about. I don't even remember what we named it.
Genuinely.
Anyways.
Oh.
Yeah,
Any
our grade doesn't
Uzis.
get to experience having him as a full all year round class. It's tragic, but he came in on Friday to talk about the AP exams, and when he walked in, everybody was like, "Yeah, yeah!" like clapping and everything. People were hyped up because he's the best teacher in the school. Anybody who has had him for A Pell, they know he's the best teacher in the school.
Arguably. There is one teacher, and he.
Bird, I am concerned.
Web
Are
design.
you talking about the tech teacher? The tech is that? Do you think that's the number one teacher in the school?
Yeah.
No.
He does not care what you do.
He really does not care. I play Minecraft every single day in that class. Every day. Every day.
He does not care.
Bird, what are you talking about? I said that you can like submit one. I don't know if we're gonna read it out loud. Like, sure. You can see what she's saying. She wants to submit a Hear Me Out, a fictional one.
Oh?
I think for a second she thought that we thought she was talking about one of the teachers. Which that thought never came to my mind, but she all of a sudden started spamming no.
No.
And then just is now heh, and is, I assuming, typing it out. But while she's doing that, any other drama that we can throw into Drama Llama? Or is that about it?
I don't know. That's probably it.
Actually, I do have a small thing to add in. On, I think it was Friday, might have been Thursday last week, at the lunch table, I won at Uno. With the unmarked, like, non-colorblind friendly cards, I won. Embarrassing for them, honestly. Losing to a colorblind person.
Yes.
Sucks to
Oh my
suck.
god, today we were playing blackjack and esports. Let's just say the Brodies are dead.
I thought you were playing spoons. When did you play blackjack?
We were playing it after Harvey left. But guess who's not dead? Probably because
Hold on.
casinos are my thing.
I need to search up this person that Bird even just put in the chat. Who is that? Nah! Nah!
No!
The very first image. Nah!
Wait, hold
on. I really want to show this to the stream, though. Bird, can I show this to the stream? Yes or no? Can I show this to the stream? Please, can I show this to the stream? Okay, I can show it to the stream. Hold on. We're adding a window display, window capture. This is a temporary one. Okay, I need to separate this, give it its own window. Alright, we're gonna do open image and new tab. Let's do that. That'll get, oh yeah, now it's all nice and zoomed in. Let's let the stream choose this. It's not letting me choose it. Select This one. Can the stream see that? Please tell me the stream can see that. In the capture too. So
No.
bird.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Can the
Hear me
stream
out.
see that? I'm waiting for it to catch up to make sure that the stream can see it. The stream can see that. Yep, the stream can see it. All right.
Guys, but hear me out. Hear me out
That's
here.
birds. That's birds. Hear me out.
Hear me out. Remy.
What?
Remy from Ratatouille.
Okay, that's who I thought you were talking about. Why are y'all fantasizing for that, bro? That's crazy.
Remy's dad is crazy.
What?
Remy's
Bro,
dad.
I'll be completely honest, bro. I cannot relate to any of these. Y'all are fiending for it. I cannot relate. At all. Cannot relate. The only hear me out I have would be the girl I have a crush on. That's as far as it goes, bro. I don't got any other hear me out.
Who is it?
That's it. That's it.
Who is it?
That's it for me.
Give us a
That's
hint.
the one. Give us a hint. Okay. If I told you her first and last name, you would know who she is. I don't think you're friends. Actually, you're not friends with her. But if I told you her first and last name, you would know who she is. And if I told her
Give me
first and last
first
name
name.
to Bird, then she would have no idea who it is. And that's your hint.
Text me first name.
No. Because you would know who it is instantly, I think.
Wait. Hold on, I'm gonna text you. Is she
If
popular?
you get it right, I will tell you that you got it right. But you cannot tell anybody, okay? Do we have a deal? Okay.
Yes.
I mean,
Is she
I guess
popular
if you
though?
wanted to tell her, but I don't know how you would do that. I don't think you have a means of contacting her. Like, I don't think you do. I kind of do. But only like 50-50. Like, so. Like,
Is she popular?
If I really wanted to contact her, I could. But I don't have, like, a casual way of contacting her as of the moment. So,
Is she popular?
not answering that question.
Hold up, I gotta get the names off the Snapchat.
I don't think you're gonna find it. I guess I'll give you another hint. I haven't been able to find her on Snapchat. I've tried. I haven't been able to find her on Snapchat. That's
You haven't? Have you even looked in the school? In the school?
I haven't
Snap?
been able to find her on Snapchat. That's the only hint I'm giving. I haven't been able to find her on Snapchat. I've tried multiple times.
Dang. Okay.
I'm just gonna have to try and get it in person, a way to contact her. It is what it is. There's actually a lot.
So it's not Alize.
There's actually
it's
a lot
not
of people
Amelia.
that their phone number. I don't even know who these people are. What was the first person you
Wait.
mentioned? What was the first name?
Alize.
I didn't hear it.
Alize Taylor. I swear to God, if it's Alize Taylor, I'm gonna.
I don't think I know who that is.
What?
I don't think I know who that is. Maybe
I don't know how to spell her
name.
name. Well, I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Oh, it says you're typing. I don't think you're gonna get it right. I don't think you're gonna get it right. No. I don't even know who that
Okay.
is. I don't even know who that is.
I don't know. She seems like someone you'd be into.
Are they honor schools? I'm curious what you think I'm into now, but whatever. We won't go into that. I don't.
I
know
feel
who
like
that
you're
is.
into like the shy girls, like the shy, but like.
I mean, the girl I'm
Oh.
thinking of, I don't know if you could consider her shy or not. Maybe you could, maybe you couldn't. I don't know her well enough. I'd like to, but I don't.
Kia Fredrickson? No.
I know who that is, but no. I'm not gonna
No.
say flat out no.
I
I
have
mean,
the first
she's nice,
initial.
but she's nice, but no,
I have first initial.
no. I'm not giving you
Can
any more
I
hints.
have initial?
N initial, just N. No, I'm not
No,
giving
no,
you
no.
an initial.
No, just an initial. Like the first name and initial.
No, I'm not giving it to you.
You
It's not
should though.
happening. No, I'm not going to. Why would I do that? I have nothing to gain.
Lillian Rakowski.
I'm not answering yes or no for any more. I've already given you two. I was only planning on giving you one, and I already gave you two. I'm not giving you any more. I'm not giving you any more. It doesn't matter how
That
many names you list off. I'm not giving you more. You can list any name, and I'm not giving you a yes or no. Doesn't matter what it is.
doesn't matter.
Are you just gonna keep on looking, or are we gonna move on to crazy meter?
We can move on to crazy meter.
Somebody's like, oh, this is one of the ones you. I don't really want to do this one right now, to be honest. What's this one? We have a link for this one, but we don't have what it is. Oh, this is a good one that we can talk about.
None of these girls seem like people you date.
I wish I was dating her, honestly. I think that'd be fun.
Fun.
Yeah.
She's an interesting person.
You could say a lot of people. I just got a snap from her hat. Is she gonna try and make a guess? If she did make a guess, I would give her a yes or no. What is that picture? No, like literally, what is that?
Bro, we are sideways on YouTube.
Yeah, it's supposed to be that way.
Oh,
It's supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be sideways on YouTube Shorts because otherwise they don't get the whole thing. But if you put it sideways, then you get the whole thing. I've seen a lot of people do it for YouTube Shorts, and people don't seem to mind to just flip their phone. People do not seem to mind. So I was like, okay, I'll just do that.
all right.
All right, I got my water. Ready for the crazy meter?
Yo.
All right. Title: Am I overreacting if I didn't give my parents 2.5K out of my student loan refund? Just by the title, you can tell that this is gonna be a crazy one. I'll read the first. There's 5 paragraphs. I'll read the first one. You read the second one, and I can read the last 3 because they're all pretty short.
Okay.
Hi, comma. I, female 18, got into a big argument with my parents yesterday. For context, I'm a broke college freshman living 5 hours away from home. They texted asking for a favor, which was odd. When we got on a call, my mom said they needed 2.5K by tomorrow, March 15th, to pay their taxes. They wanted me to give them part of my student loan refund, which I'm saving for next year's apartment and living expenses.
I didn't say no immediately. I told them I needed to shower. They called my boyfriend of 2 years for advice. He told me to ask reasonable questions, how they'd pay me back, why they couldn't ask someone else, etc. I called my parents back and asked, "Can I have a few questions?" My mom sighed and said yes, but said yes. When I asked about repayment, I need the full amount back before I move in 4 months, they exploded. They accused me of not trusting them and made me feel guilty, even though I just wanted to protect myself.
They eventually told me they could pay half next week, then a few hundred a month for 6 months, but that still wouldn't get me the full money back in time. I said I wanted to help, but I couldn't risk not having money for housing. Then my dad brought up how I didn't pay for the car insurance in high school. I reminded him that I made $150 a paycheck, while they expected me to pay $400 a month, which I clearly couldn't afford. They eventually agreed I'd just pay for gas. I said that wasn't fair to use against me now. That's when my dad snapped and screamed, F you, repeatedly, and my mom hung up. This happened 15 minutes ago, and I'm still shaken. I don't know how I don't know. I know I'm not talking to them again until I get an apology. Any advice or comments would really help. I'm gonna just come right out and say it. Asking your kids for money, especially when they're like in college and they're like barely scraping by, like this person said that they're a broke college freshman, like asking them for money is already a really big stretch. Like that is not something you should realistically do.
Yeah, and like especially when they're trying to be their own and like it's their college loan, like
Hmm.
it's their refund. And like I get how they could come and say like, "Oh, we paid for your car insurance." But like if she was only making $150, like realistically, you like one, you couldn't do that. And two, how are you gonna use that against her when you guys wanted to get her the car too?
Yeah,
Like
that's that's something else. That's kind of like that. I don't really want to drag him into this. I'm not trying to pull him under the boat because I think he's doing pretty nice things for the world. But like using Mr. Beast for example, like if you just like walked up to somebody and it's like, "Hey, take this car," like you don't give them a choice, which is not what he's doing. I'm just trying to use that as an example, I guess. But like if you walked up to somebody and it's like, "Hey, take this car," like they have to pay taxes on that, and it's kind of something like that. Like you can't just like give somebody something and then expect them to pay. I guess that's not really a good example, but you, it's kind of messed up to give somebody something and then expect them to pay for it. Like that's like some sort of video where it's like, "Hey, answer this question." It's like, "Oh, you got the question right. Here, have these AirPods." Like inside the store, and then you didn't buy the AirPods. You just handed them AirPods, and then they walked out the store with unpaid AirPods. Like, it's kind of the equivalent of that. Like, just giving somebody something that, and then expect them to pay for it. Like, seriously. And then paying for gas is just a ridiculous one. Like, were you measuring how much gas she was using, or are you just gonna pull a random number out of nowhere? Like,
yeah, like how are you gonna like calculate that? Like, are you just tracking where she's going all the time? Are you tracking when
and
she
that would
gets?
already be red flag. It's like, no, we track every single mile, and then you're like gallons per mile that the car had, and this
Yeah,
is how much you have to pay. Like, that's already like, bro,
yeah,
really? Like, you're that desperate for the money? Like, come on.
yeah. It's ridiculous.
I think the parents should just, if you really need the money that bad,
Mm-hmm.
like take out a loan or like a second mortgage or something. Like,
Something.
that's messed up. Like, your kid's trying to make it out here in college. A $2,500 loan refund is honestly pretty insane. So, like,
Mhm.
let them work with that because I don't think a lot of people get loan refunds. I don't think that's really a thing that happens that often, especially not with how greedy banks are. I assume that there's probably not a lot of banks out there, but enough banks that are like, "Oh, you overpaid. We're just not going to tell you that you overpaid, and we're just going to keep the extra money." There's probably banks out there that would do that, where they wouldn't even tell you that you overpaid. Like they just keep it. Like, no, you overpaid $100, but we're just gonna keep the $100 and not even like send you a letter.
Mhm.
Like we're just gonna keep the $100. Sorry,
The one.
no. It's like a $2,500 student loan refund. Like, bro, let them cook with that. They can do something with it. They
Good.
can they can get themselves a new computer for school or like a new desk, a new TV,
Yes.
or just like they were saying, they're gonna use it for housing, which is a really good use for it. You know, you're
Yeah.
gonna need a roof over your head, especially in college. So I don't know. I think that's kind of a ridiculous ask to like ask your broke college student like kid that you want their money. That's kind of ridiculous. And then her dad started like screaming and swearing at her for not wanting to give them money. Like what? Like they need to make it out here too. Honestly, I would assume that their parents, let's just say that their parents are in their 40s, because that seems like a pretty normal thing, at least where we are. I don't know where they are, but like for somebody our age, which is a little bit
Mhm.
younger than them, but somebody like in college or high school to have parents that are in their 40s or early 50s maybe. Pretty common. So we'll say that. Like if you're in your 40s, like you should be financially stable by then. And if you're not financially stable, don't take it out on your kids. They didn't ask to be brought into this world.
Back so.
Do you have anything else to say on it?
No.
Oh, there's a comment from the op. Their their parents aren't actually broke. I wish I could have added they both make well over 100 grand together. Go traveling for my brother's soccer, take vacation, live in the suburbs. They're doing fine. And if they were really struggling, I would totally understand, but they're not. And no, thankfully, not in high school. I'm gonna be paying for housing in college. So their parents are making they're making over $100,000 a year, and you're asking your kids for money. Like, bro, flip those roles around. Broke college student with parents that are making like combined over 100 grand a year. Like, if anything, they should be asking you for money. You should not be asking them for money. That's literally like a rich person walking up to a homeless person, like, "Hey, you got
Bro,
10 bucks?"
20 bucks.
Like, "Hey, you got 10 bucks? I'm trying to get a burger at McDonald's or something." Like, what? That's not something you can do. And they said that they go on like vacations and stuff. Like, you're seriously going on vacations, but now all of a sudden you don't have enough money for taxes. Like, I find that hard to believe. If you don't have enough money to pay your taxes, you should not be going on vacations. That seems like you're just making bad financial decisions. Completely there for me. I would say on the craziness scale, one being not overreacting at all, and 10 being heavily overreacting, I would say it's like a two. I would say a one, but they are family. So there
Yeah.
is kind of that, but they're also making significantly more money than her, so not really
Yeah.
overreacting.
And like if you're gonna ask for money, then like sacrifice the luxuries that you
Hmm.
have.
That's what I was just saying about how they're going on vacations and now all of a sudden they don't
Yeah,
have money for taxes. Like, sure. Seems like you need to spend your money better if that's actually the case. What would you rate it?
probably too. Honest. The parents, 10. 10. Parents 10. But
Yeah. If we were rating from the parents, not the host, then yeah. I would add a comment saying that we rated it 2 out of 10, but it's a locked post and we can't comment on it anymore. So no can do.
dang it.
Get rid of that slide. All right. Ready for the Q&A
Yes.
for at least 23 minutes?
Oh,
Hey, we have enough questions for that though.
we do.
We have plenty of questions for that. Is Bird talking in chat? I haven't had the. Okay.
Oh
No,
god. Oh god.
she's been talking a lot. Not really though. Okay.
Oh, never mind.
I understand what she's saying. I couldn't have the chat pulled up because I had other stuff like open, so I couldn't see that. Here, I'll split my windows so I can see the chat. Q&A. Yep, she agrees. Q&A time.
Yay.
Hold up. Can I go in slideshow mode? No, because then it does full screen. I don't really want to do that. Okay, this actually does not work out well splitting the things. Q&A. You want me to yap? I can yap. No. Bird, wait. Don't spam the chat. Actually, you know what? Nah, spam the chat.
Scam.
Spam the chat. Promote the stream so that more people find it. Spam the chat. All right. First question picking up from where we left off on the very first stream. Because I did not cross out any. The one that we did with Aiden and Vince. I did not cross out those ones because they were clearly not taking the questions that seriously. So I did not count those questions. I don't even remember what I answered for them, to be honest. I don't want to remember that stream. It was miserable. It might have been more funny for you guys, but as the person who actually has to worry about if we're getting canceled, if we're getting like extra tags added onto our stream, if I'm getting warnings sent to the email that I set up for the podcast, like stuff
Mhm.
like that. There's stuff is getting taken down and getting pings, all that bad stuff. I actually have to worry about that kind of stuff. So maybe it was more funny for you guys. It was exhausting, in my opinion, which is also why it only was 37 minutes instead of like an hour. It was exhausting, bro. I hated it. Anyways, very first question. What is the quality you admire the most in a person and dislike the most in a person? So, admiring, I would say just willing to be themselves. Like, no matter who they're around, they be themselves. Doesn't matter who they're around. Whether they're a total stranger or somebody they've known for 10 years. They act the same. That, very good quality. Something I could probably improve on myself, actually. Something I've been trying to improve about myself. Because, double standards. Come on, people. And dislike the most, honestly, politics. Just politics. I hate
Period.
talking to people that only talk about politics. So people who are like always talking about politics, like way too involved, I can't do it.
I
I can't do
think
it.
I think it's when they constantly talk about it, like some friends I can stand talking about politics because we have the same views or like they're respectful towards my views. But then like
Yeah,
there's a fine line between
it's risky though.
yeah. I've definitely lost friends because they would talk about it all the time and then like I'd say one thing about it and they're like, nah, bye.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what's the best trait in a person? Because you kind of skipped that.
Oh, best trait. Probably just like having transparency and like communication because that's big in friendships and
Yeah,
relationships. Because
yeah,
like if you're mad at me, I want to know,
yeah.
and like if I'm mad
That's
at you, I'll let you know.
if I can ever talk with my current crush, or honestly to any partner in the future, any partner that I might have, like communication is key. The first step to the end of a relationship is not communicating, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Because if you actually communicate, like, hey, I don't like how you did that. I don't like how you interacted with this person. I don't like how you spoke to me in this conversation. Like, tell them. Because then
Hmm.
they can change that. They can be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you felt that way. Rather than just not telling them, they continue acting that way, and then eventually it just doesn't work out. Communication is very important. And Bird is just spamming rats in the chat.
We'll ban you from chat.
No, I'm not banning them from chat. Can I even ban a mod from chat? I'm curious. Like, can I even if I wanted to? I could. You can just ban a mod. You don't even have to unban. You don't even have to unmod them. You can just ban them.
Yes.
You can just straight up ban your mods. I'm not going to. You're fine, Bird. But I was curious if you can or not. No, don't do it. Next question. If you can improve one thing about yourself, what would it be? All right. So this one, not my real answer, but a answer. Stronger. 150%. But that's not a major one. We can throw that one out the window. One thing I would like to improve about myself is like kind of like what I said earlier. I'd like to be more transparent. Like I'd like to be myself more no matter who I'm around. Because I will say I do act slightly differently depending who I'm around. Honestly, probably the biggest problem with my household family members, I probably act the least myself around my people in my household. I'm gonna be completely honest. For some
Me
reason,
too.
I don't know. They're judgmental. I can't be myself, I swear.
Real. One thing I'd probably change about myself is probably how much I care about what other people think.
Yeah, that's all. I feel like people as a whole, we need to care less about what other people think. All right, next question. What was the best year of your life and the worst? Best year of my life, this year. Worst year of my life, probably this year.
Best and worst 2023.
All right,
Hold on.
I haven't known you I didn't know you in 2023, so I can't make any comments on that.
Yeah, that's true. Hold
I
on.
still
I
don't know
need.
why we didn't ever meet in eighth grade since we had the same
I know.
advisement. I
That
don't know
was
how
weird.
that happened, but
Hold on. I need to mute real quick.
okay. Oh, Bird is on the slideshow. Okay. Bird, is that your best year is 2025 or is that your worst year? Which one's which? You just did like 2025, comma 2023 slash 2024. Which one's which? 2025 is your best? Been there? What? Best. Okay, so 2025 is your best. Yeah, I agree with that. It's been a pretty good year so far. If I couldn't choose that year, I'd probably choose like 2022 or something. Or 2021. Low key, okay. COVID was kind of fun. Not the people dying part, but the part where we got to like play games, Twitch was like a really big thing. I wish I started Twitch streaming then. I wish I did. I didn't have the equipment though. I couldn't have realistically done it. Like it just wouldn't work. But I low-key wish I did. Oh, you're back. You can do
Yes.
next question now. All right. What single event or decision do you think affected the mostly right, and was there a turning point in your life? Okay, really good answer for this one, but I need to pull something up really quick. All right, my answer, Josiah. That's my answer. Most pivotal moment in my life. JJ.
JJ.
We're pulling up the Josiah account now. It's up there. It's on the stream.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. It's up there now.
I see it.
We'll put it right there. We'll put it right there.
Oh,
It's at 1.
all right.
There's a count now, Bird. We're counting now. If only we counted during the first stream, then it would be way higher than it is now.
Yeah.
Why? There's a count. It's gonna be a reoccurring theme, Bird. It's gonna be a reoccurring thing. Reoccurring thing.
Until we get him on the pod.
No, once he gets on the pod, he's gonna see it like 127.
127.
I haven't even been on the podcast until now.
Subscribe so we can let JJ out of the basement.
No, no, don't let him out of the basement. I need him. Loki, I don't even think he lives that far away from me. He really should not have sent me a picture of his OHM license or certificate. I know where he lives now.
Oh my god. A turning point in my life was probably in 2023. That was the year that my brother and dad had sadly passed away, but I met my siblings. I met all my siblings and my family for the first time.
Yeah, that's a pretty pivotal well, now I understand why that was the worst year of your life.
Yeah.
At least part of it. That has to be at least part of it, right?
Yeah.
Like at least,
Well,
okay.
yeah.
That's bad. I'm sorry for your loss.
As well, I got to meet my dad's side of the family, so that's a positive.
Yeah, we're not that close with my dad's side of the family.
Oh.
Very close with mom's side, just not my dad's side. Nah, we're not that close. I mean, like, we are with my uncle. Like, just with one of my uncles. That's it.
Just a
we're,
singular.
we're pretty close with them. I have him added on Snapchat, and his wife added on Snapchat. They're for my aunt. I have them added on Snapchat. That's about it, though. That's as far as it goes. Bird's turning point was the Dream SMP fandom. Slowly backing away as I live with my dad and don't talk to my mom's side. Okay, Bird's living in a different situation than us then.
Oh, damn.
Anyways, what do you see yourself doing in 10 years from now? Well, maybe mentoring for our robotics team. Maybe. We'll see. Honestly, I could see myself doing that. Mentoring for our robotics team.
Yeah, definitely.
At least until Josiah graduates.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back like the year after. He's gonna be like, I'm now a sophomore in high school, but now Jason's gone, and it's like, nah, you ain't done with me yet. I'm still standing, coming back. So yeah, probably that. Probably still be doing YouTube, Twitch, at least on my personal. I wouldn't mind continue doing the podcast for 10 years. I don't know if we'll make it 10 years, but I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
10-year-old podcast. We gotta gain traction at some point, right?
Some point.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Um,
mind. I wouldn't mind doing that, but I'll definitely still be doing it personally, like YouTube and Twitch, like at least on my personal, for sure. Um, at that point, I'll be out of college.
mhm.
Probably won't have kids yet. Probably have a full-time job, hopefully in computer programming or engineering. Probably computer programming though, unless I pop off on YouTube and don't need a job. But I see that as being unlikely. Change my mind. Anyways, I'm done now.
um, I
Hold
either
on,
see
hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt. Who is Dean Winchester? Bird said that they're praying to Dean Winchester. I need to Google who this is really quick. Who is that? Who is that? I've never heard of this man in my life. Oh, this guy! Okay, never mind. I know who this is. I mean, I haven't. I
Bird, we
watched.
still need to get that candle.
I think I watched like one or like part of one or two. Yeah, part of one of the Supernatural movies. Or episodes that are basically movies, I think. I don't remember how long they are. I watched like one. That's it. I haven't watched more because I have no idea where to watch it. Izzy knows. I know who he is now. I saw the photo. I know who that guy is. That's about as far as it goes. All right, I'm done yapping now. Your turn.
Okay. Um, I either see myself in a lot of student debt,
Fair enough.
or being rich as a lawyer. That's where all the student debt comes from. Law school.
Bird said, "Me too." Oh
Um,
no. I would hope in 10 years I've gotten rid of at least most of my student debt by then, because that would be 4 years after college. Because I'm only getting bachelor's. I don't plan on going for a master's. I mean, like maybe it'll happen, but I highly doubt I'm gonna go for a master's. Probably just a bachelor's. So
actually, I think law
four
school
years
is
after
like
college.
years.
Yeah, law school I think does go for a little bit longer. I don't know if
Yeah.
bachelor's is enough. Like I think you need more. I mean, at least if you want to do well. I mean, I guess you could get like an associate's. You could also just not do it at all. Like, yeah, I read the law book, and
That's a law
that's
book.
it. I read the whole thing. I don't remember any of it, but I read the whole thing. Like you
No,
could do
but
that
law school is a
technically.
lot like medical school, though. You
In a way, yeah.
like 8 years of school, then you have practice, internships before you actually go on your own.
Yeah.
So, yep, that's probably where I'm gonna be. Either student debt or some big hotshot
Okay.
lawyer.
Can can you decode what TLOU is? I don't know what that is. Apparently I'm not hip with the times. What does that mean? TLOU?
I don't know.
I don't know. She said new episode, watched it and wanted to send herself to the sun. I don't Is that the one Rick and Morty episode? Where they
No, The
send
Last of Us.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
You gotta update
Oh,
the
The Last
Josiah
of Us.
account.
Yeah. I don't think I've actually I haven't watched those. Seemed like a good movie though. Alright, next question. Is there something about you that people assume of your appearance or demeanor? What is the trait or preference that p people don't expect you to have? All right, I have a really good answer for the second part. For the first part, people assume I have. I think people assume. I mean, I don't know about anymore, but this definitely used to be a thing. I don't know if it still is. I assume it is, but people seem to assume that I'm a negative person. I was told that a lot in middle school. I haven't been told that recently, but people apparently really think that I'm like a negative person. I mean, like everybody in esports knows I'm not. Everybody in robotics knows I'm not.
Yeah,
Everybody there knows that I'm a pretty chill guy. At least I hope they do. I'd be concerned if they didn't.
yeah,
I'm very positive, especially around those people. But like I've never really gone out of my way, especially to be mean to somebody. I haven't even really been mean to people. The only time I'll be partially mean to people is when they're mean to me. And that's kind of like a golden rule kind of thing. Like, if you're gonna treat me bad, I'm gonna treat you bad. That's just kind of how it is. I mean, some of the times, even when people treat me rude, I still treat them nice because it's kind of the person I am. But that's the only time that I'll ever really be mean. And then for a trait or preference that people don't expect me to have, colorblind. I don't know what people think a colorblind person looks like, but every single time they're like, "What?"
What?
Like, "Oh my God, what? This is outlandish. I've never heard of this before." And they always think that it means I can only see in black and white, which aggravates me every single time because that's only monochromatic colorblindness. Get it right, people. There's more than one kind.
Color deficient.
Oh my God, I'm gonna bring this up since we're on the topic now. This girl right here, lost to me at a colorblind test during a robotics meet. I don't remember which day it was, but we were doing colorblind tests because I don't know, we were bored, I guess.
hmm
And I mean, I wasn't the fastest person at doing it, but I got the website to think that I have normal vision because I got every single one right. Izzy, on the other hand, got 40%. 40%. That's failing. Like, if you had 40% in a class, that's failing. Like, you failed at a colors test. And I'm colorblind, and I passed with flying colors. The colors that I can't even see. Izzy.
You know what? Be quiet. At least I can see red.
Okay, womp womp. At least I can pass a colorblind test. Which honestly is kind of crazy in its own. But at least I didn't fail.
Be quiet.
Are you gonna answer the question now? You haven't actually answered it yet.
Oh, um, something people assume. I think what people at least used to think is that I'm a mean person. That like, I think it's
That's about
oh,
the same for me.
like once they got to know me, they were like, I was scared of you at first. Like, I thought you were a mean person. I'm like, how come? And they're like, I don't know. You just like, your face seems like you're mean.
I've been told that, like in middle school especially. In middle school, I was told multiple times, like, if the school got shot up, I think
It'd
you'd be
be
the
you.
shooter. And it's like, what? Like, what did I do?
Mhm.
I don't know why, bro. In middle school, it was really bad. Like, for some reason, everybody thought that I was like, I don't know, some emo who was selling drugs and shooting people in dark alleyways. Like, I don't know what was going on in middle school. I mean, I will say I've changed a lot since middle school. But, like, I mean, yeah, I was weird in middle school, but, like,
Not that weird.
I wasn't that weird. I didn't talk that much, but that was just because nobody ever talked to me. It wasn't because I refused to talk. Like if somebody started a conversation with me, I would talk in the conversation. And then what's a trait or preference that people don't expect you to have? Because you didn't answer that part yet.
Um, Preference. Um, I think a trait that people think I probably don't have is probably my ambition. Like, like if you look at my grades, if you look at like my stuff on like the internet and stuff, you would be like, "Oh yeah, she's just a copy and paste of everyone else." But like, uh, here we
Okay,
are.
I don't mean this in a mean way, but I do kind of agree with you for that. Like if people didn't look at you like at all, just your grades, then you would kind of think like, oh yeah, just your average Joe. No offense. Like if you just completely disregard like you as a person, only look at your grades, it would just be like, oh yeah, yeah, we got a couple hundred of those in our school.
Yep.
Just kind of blending in. But
hmm
once you get to know you, like, yeah. Next question. What's the closest you ever come to dying? Okay. I don't know exactly if this is when it was, but I would say it was around like fourth grade, maybe. A kid almost drowned me in the pool. Like he literally pushed me underwater. Yeah.
Oh damn.
I did end up getting pulled out of the water by a lifeguard. I mean, like, I was swimming, but I was like
Push in
underwater.
water.
Like underwater. And since I was like really small at the time, like might have not been that far underwater, but like for somebody that my size at the time, Like, ooh, I was pretty far underwater. Like you could have stacked me on top of myself and I still would have been underwater. So I did end up getting pulled out of the water, and then I just kind of had to like sit there for a little bit, catch my breath, like, I saw the light.
Oh no.
So yeah, that was my experience. What about you?
Me, one time my mother was speeding down the road and we were half a block away from home. So she's like, you know what, I'm gonna drive home as the cops have their sirens chasing us. And she pulls in the driveway. Cops are like, put your hands up, come out of the car. With their guns pulled out. And then
Okay.
like
Oh, you're still going. Okay, never mind.
and like um they were like, is there anyone else in the car? And like a cop pulls me out of the thing, like gun in one hand, grabs my arm, drags me out of the car, and they're like, "Oh wait, it's a little child." So they take me inside of my house.
Ooh,
Well,
accidentally just traumatized a child. My bad. My bad, guys.
like
Is that where you're going into law school?
so nothing like
Child trauma going into law school.
child trauma.
Yeah, that one kind of depends on how the cops are feeling that day. Because some cops are like, dude, finger off the trigger, like, calm down. That was not a serious situation. And then
Yeah,
other ones are like, no, that was a pretty reasonable amount of force. Like, I used a taser. Like, that's not really that close to death. But then some, it's really like, dude, that was not, you did not need to get your gun out for that. It's like, what are you doing? You're escalating the situation. Some of them are really bad. What do you enjoy most about life? Is our next question. All
just
right. Josiah,
we gotta add two.
up the count. That's what I enjoy most in life. Oh, it already updated. Oh, that's cool. It's linked, so it updates it for both Twitch and YouTube. Yep,
No,
up the
it should
count.
be three. You mentioned them for robotics too.
Josiah?
Yeah,
What about him from robotics?
you were like, I'm really staying it just for Josiah.
Yeah, I don't know. Before the competition, I was
Mhm.
not planning on doing robotics next year. After the competition, bro, I'm coming back. Like after high school, I'm coming back. Like it's not over.
It's not
It's a
over until
real
I say
big
it's
game
over.
changer. That one night that I stayed with the robotics team until midnight, that one night made the difference, and it was like, oh, this is fun. Like, oh, we're coming back. It is not over. Also, real quick one, we got Bird's closest thing to ever dying. She was about 7 years old, got pulled down a current in a river, and then another time she fainted and cracked her head open. Another time, her mother hit a buck with me, and oh, with me and the siblings in the car. Okay. And there's more, she's just too lazy to list them all. Ooh. Anyways, yeah, what do I enjoy most about life? Josiah.
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 Um,
We're going back.
we're going back. I think it's my heritage for me.
Who?
Like reconnecting with my
Your what?
heritage.
Ah, okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. Josiah slash robotics is my answer. If you could meet any person, who would it be and why? Okay, I currently have no desires to meet anybody. I mean, like, I'm always open to meeting new people. Like, if somebody walks up to me, yeah, let's have a conversation. Like, let's
Mhm.
talk. Let's get to know each other. It is what it is. Like, yeah, let's be nice to each other, guys. Like, we're all human. Let's be friends. But like, I don't have any desires to meet a specific person. So I'm gonna change the question for me specifically a little bit as to who I wish I knew better, and then I could say my crush. That's about as far as it goes, though. I guess I could also say Josiah, but that's like a secondary answer. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, like, obviously, I want to get him to know him better, but
Mhm.
like, I already am getting to know him better. That's not something that like something would need to change. Like, that's just something I'm doing right now. Is I'm always getting to know him a little bit better. So don't really need to do anything for that. Anyways, what's your answer? If you give me any person, who would it be and why?
Um, it probably would have to be um there's a lot of people I'd like to meet. Um, I would say Diamond Miller. She's a basketball player, but I met her already. Big flex. But probably Sue Bird. She's another basketball player, but she's retired. But she's been a huge influence and like women's rights, gay rights. She's a huge activist, and she's been a huge influence in the like activist community, the women's community, and basketball. And she's a big reason why the WNBA has gotten to the point that it's at.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest. You have no idea who some of those people are. Um, I just want to point this out really quick. I should have brought this up earlier, but I only like just now realized, like, remembered it. So before this podcast, I was out at a Mexican, like a local Mexican restaurant eating with my mom,
Yes,
just
I
me and
could.
my mom, and I had my phone open to the group Snapchat for the Rats podcast because I was waiting to see if Bird was able to do one today. And I was talking with my mom, and then I like looked down at my phone, and as I looked down at my phone, Bird sent that photo, and it got me so off guard. I was not expecting to see that photo. It just caught me very off guard. All right, next question. Would you rather receive $1 million but die the next day, or give $1 million to a random person? So, assuming it's not my money, give $1 million to another person. Now, if it is my money, bro, that's generational debt. Like, once you're in that much debt, like you're not getting out is the thing. If you have like a good job before you go that much in debt, like let's say if you somehow made like 200 grand a year and you got $1 million in debt, like you could theoretically pay that off in 5 years. Probably it'll take you longer, obviously, because of like interest and stuff. So it'd probably actually take like 11 years, but like you could pay it off. But like where I'm at currently, $1 million in debt, that's a generational debt. So if it's my money, then I'll receive $1 million, die tomorrow. But assuming it's not my money, because that would be an odd question. This question isn't worded, so it's not my money. I'd rather just give a random person $1 million. Because I, if you asked me like a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
my answer would just be $1 million. Let's just give me $1 million. I'll die tomorrow. But
Mm-hmm.
now I actually got stuff to live for at the moment. So rather not die tomorrow. My attitude might change on Thursday. Maybe I'll be leaning a little bit more. But at the moment, I got stuff to live for. Like, I'm good, bro. I don't want to die tomorrow. I'm
Yeah.
actually in a good state of mind right now. I'm proud of myself. I actually want to live. Anyways, that's my answer. Your
Um,
turn.
I I just feel like if I were to take the $1 million, it would make me a less humble person, and like just make me a huge, pardon my language, asshole. Like,
Naughty word, naughty word. I
what?
don't care.
But I'm definitely give it to someone else.
Yeah, that's what I do. I don't want to die tomorrow. I'm not like, really much worried about how I would act differently with $1 million. I mean, I would act differently, but not because of I don't think it would be because of the money. I think it would be because like I'm dying tomorrow. Like that's the reason I would act differently. It's like, nah, I gotta get stuff done today. I got 24 hours. Like I gotta get stuff done. I can't just sit around and do nothing. Although luckily with $1 million, like you can buy your way to the front of a lot of lines. So I don't think I would act differently just because I have $1 million, but because I only have 24 hours to live. I think that would be the main problem with me. Now, if you gave me $1 billion and no like life restriction, I will admit I would act differently because humans are greedy. That's just kind of how we are.
Yeah.
Like once you're given something, become greedy over time. That's how it is.
Yeah.
So like I don't really just want $1 billion. I'd rather earn $1 billion than just have $1 billion.
Yeah.
I'd rather earn 50 million than just be given 1 billion, to be honest, because I don't know. Like, yeah, more money, But at the same time, like you can still get more done with like a 50 million. I don't really care too much for money. I want enough money to live happily and not have to worry about money. I don't need enough money where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be remembered for a long time. Like I don't care. I don't care. I don't need Elon Musk's wealth to have a good time.
Real.
All right. If you next question, if you could go back and relive one day in your life without changing anything, which day would you revisit? March 29th, 2025. Or alternate answer, actually. I don't know what day it was. Early 2023. Not I guess it's not early. It would be like early school year of 2023. It was not at school. Not at school. Just early school year outside of school, but I don't know what day it was. I'd relive that day because that's the day that I I didn't accept it at the time because I was in 8th grade. I was still pushing down all feelings that I had for other people because I don't know, that's just how I was raised, I guess. I didn't have time for anything except school. But so I was still pushing down on my feelings. But that day, I don't know what day it was. I don't know exactly what day. I know what year and what general time of year. I don't know exactly what day. And I can think of exactly how the situation went, but it's the day that I realized I had feelings for my crush. I didn't acknowledge them, but I knew they were there. So I relived that day because it was awesome. Anyways, your turn.
um, I would relive September 6th, 2023.
Okay.
No, August 6th.
Okay. Summer.
Mm-hmm.
Something fun happened in summer. That's
Nope.
fair. Oh my god, I have an amazing answer for the next question. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What question do you hate being asked the most? What color is this? What color is the sweatshirt of the person in front of you? James asked me that question today. I'm calling him out by first name, actually. I don't even care. I'm calling him out. He did that today. He was standing behind me in the lunch line. What color is your hoodie? And I was like, oh, what color is the sweatshirt of the person in front of you? Like, oh my god, shut up! If
If
I
you could,
get expelled from our current school and have to switch to North Branch, I wouldn't even care that much, to be honest. But like, if I get expelled, just know that's probably the reason why. Somebody probably pushed too hard about me being colorblind, and I pushed back, and I pushed back hard. Like that's the reason. Also, I'm gonna turn off my camera like really briefly. It's like really blurry. I don't know why. So pardon my camera quality.
if James, if you knew James was watching the podcast right now, what would you say to him?
Bro, I'm breaking your shins tomorrow at school. I'm bringing a metal baseball bat. Pucker up. Get them knees ready. Enjoy your knees for the last like 12 hours that you have them because I'm stealing them tomorrow. I am breaking them. In fact, it's almost exactly 12 hours. See you in 12 hours, buddy. I'm breaking your knees. This is a threat. For legal reasons, this is not a threat.
For legal reasons.
Anyways, what's your answer to the question, is it?
Um, I think when I'm meeting new people, like on Snapchat and stuff, and I send them a photo of me, they're like, "Are you Latina?" No, bitch.
This is unrelated. I hate on Snapchat, like I'll add somebody, I'll send them a selfie, and they just send me like a picture of the ceiling. Like, bro, screw you.
Real.
Like I send you a face pic, like maybe like top of the shoulders, like hey,
Mm-hmm.
how's it going? And then they'll send me back like a ceiling or roof, and it's like, like if I added you, do you think I want to be friends with you or your ceiling? Because I can tell you what the answer is. Kind of unrelated, but at the same time, like, bro, come on. Like
Yeah.
just send a face pic back. Like I'm not one of those people. I'm not gonna be like pleading, like send me a picture, send me a picture. And I'm not trying to see anything like naughty either. I just want like to see your face because if I added you back, I'd like to be friends with you, not your ceiling, not a black screen, not the window of a bus. Like, just send me a selfie back. If I send you a selfie, send one back. It's not that hard of a concept, guys.
No, it
All right,
really is.
this is a good question. Have you ever gotten the giggles in an inappropriate place? Where
Yes.
was it? So, yeah, the answer is yes. Um, so one really obvious one is like any time in class when we're taking a test. There's been multiple times where I will think of like a really funny skit. Like one that I end up writing down in that notes document that I was showing you earlier today, like where all those are written down. Like sometimes I think of those just like in class during a test, and I sometimes I find my own jokes in the skits too funny, and I start like giggling mid test, and it's like, oh my god, this is inappropriate. Like this is bad. And then sometimes like, there's always those conversations where like somebody will talk about like earlier actually, kind of inappropriate, also not really. You were talking about like a car crash. I don't remember what conversation that was, but there was a car crash involved. And I thought of this scene from the Netflix show Black Summer, where it was like episode like 3 maybe, I don't know, but like this girl wasn't wearing her seatbelt in the back of like a truck, and like they crashed into a concrete barrier, and it was straight through the windshield. It is so funny. If you look it up on YouTube, you can find it, like Black Summer um car crash scene. Like it is unbelievably funny. Just the way that Superman through the windshield. I know it's not something to laugh about, but I can't help it. It's in a movie, so it's fine. In real life, it's more serious. But like whenever somebody talks about a car crash in real life, like there's a part in my mind that just brings up that scene, and it's like, no, this is not funny. Do not laugh. Do not laugh. Like no, death is not funny. But like
No.
there's just that one like scene replaying in my head, just flying through the windshield, Superman style.
Um,
That's my answer.
Mine is probably when there's a lot, but I can't believe I'm admitting this. But at my dad's funeral, we have to like, it's like native tradition where like immediate family sits right in front of like the casket, and me and my siblings, we were like bonding and whatnot, and we were calling my brother like, calling him like, you look like Vector from Despicable Me. And we started laughing mid.
Bro, that's bad. That's bad. Is that all I have to say for that question? Is that all you want to share for now?
That's
What? Next
but
next
yeah,
question? Question mark?
yes.
Okay. How much sleep do you get on average?
Nope. I plead the fifth.
um, 4 hours.
I plead the fifth.
Are you actually not gonna share because we can move on then?
I plead the fifth. It's an unhealthy. It's unhealthy.
Oh, my 4 hours is unhealthy, but like I'm an energetic person. Definitely all those workouts I do. I wake up in the morning, do a bunch of pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, the works. Like right when I wake up, it gets me energized in the morning. All right, next question. Are you currently pursuing what makes you happy? Why or why not? Yes. Yes, I am in the process. I'm in the process of pursuing what makes me happy. I'm in the process, and I'm doing it because it makes me happy, and it makes me feel loved. So I am pursuing it. I don't know if it's gonna go well. I'm pursuing it though.
Um, Me? No.
No, why not? You think that's it? You have to share. Why not?
Um, because there's a lot of expectations. Um, from my family, and like they want me to do this or that and do this, but it's been really hard, especially ever since my dad passed away, and like the timing of it all was just bad. It was like right a month before school had started freshman year, and like everything started going downhill, and then parents are like, like my guardians, I live with my aunt and uncle. They're like, "Oh, we expect better from you," blah blah blah, and that's kind of taken away from like me pursuing what makes me happy.
All right. Next question. What would you like to accomplish before the year's over? All right. I got a good list for this one. So one, get my crush's number and or Snapchat. One of the two or both. Don't even know if she has a Snapchat, because like I said earlier, I have not been able to find her on there at all. But that being said, I'm pretty sure Snapchat has like a certain radius of where you can find people. And then there's also like mutual friends and stuff, so I don't know. But definitely at least her number. That's one thing I would like to do before the end of 2025. Honestly, if I could do it before the school year ends, that'd be great. If I could get it before summer, because then I have more stuff to do during the summer. Go riding with Josiah.
Josiah,
That's another thing.
gotta
Multiple
add.
times. Multiple times. Okay, fine. I'll add it to the
You need to add 3 more because you mentioned
three.
him twice
What?
before this.
When? Wait, so what are we at? 5?
Yeah.
Okay, we're at 5. Very well. So definitely multiple times, not just once. Not like a once and done thing, like multiple times. Um, I guess while we're on the topic, I guess meet the rest of his family. I know 3 of the 5 members of his family. I've not met his dad, and I've not met his younger sister. I don't even know either of their names, but I haven't met either of them. I know the other 3. I know the other 3 people in the family. I mean, I won't call them out. This is Josiah, but I won't call out the other 2 because I don't know what their thought process is on the podcast. I switched from calling him JJ to Josiah because he seemed relatively comfortable, like he was willing to be on the podcast.
Mhm.
He wasn't able to, but he was willing to when I
Mhm.
asked about it. So since he seems fine with it,
Mhm.
I am doing first name. So definitely those 3 things. I won't go too much more in depth. There's not any other huge ones. Definitely those 3 though.
Um, I think mine would be, I think, reconnecting more with my heritage and just like experiencing more traditions related to that.
That's fair. That's fair. So while we're kind of on the thing of like ethnicity, kind of, I love potatoes.
I love voting.
I'm just gonna say that and not elaborate. Next one. Next question. Suddenly, you're in a horror film, running from a masked murderer. Your only companion is the last person you texted, and your only weapon is whatever is currently to your left hand. What is the movie like, and what do you think it would survive? So the closest thing to my left hand, that would be probably my podcast microphone, actually. This guy right here. And then so that would kind of be cooked. And I guess we'll ignore Snapchat because if we're including Snapchat as text, then Bird would be my companion. If we're doing texts, then it would be Josiah.
And Josiah in the counter.
In which case, oh my god, I didn't even do that on purpose. 5, 6. So if he was my companion, the movie would probably be just about like me trying to save him at all costs. That would probably be like the entire plot of the movie. And it would probably, I don't think I would survive if I'm being realistic. Not
Mhm.
because I don't believe in myself, but because I don't know, because Josiah's short. No offense to him. It's not
Mhm.
his fault or anything. That's not something you can control. He's not a tall person. So I don't know how fast he'd be able to run, and
He's vertically
I don't know
challenged.
how strong he is either. So I don't know if he'd be able to defend himself. So I don't
Mhm.
think I would. I don't think I would survive. But not because I don't believe in myself, but because I would throw my life away to save Josiah. Is the thing. I think the movie would end in me like getting stabbed by the killer, and then I like dive off a bridge into the river, like grab onto his shoulders into the river, and that's
Mhm.
that's how the movie would end.
Um,
I don't know where the podcast mic would come into play. It would be like the very first scene of the movie or something. Like me and Josiah are in my
yeah,
room, like talking on the podcast. It's like, oh crap, a mass killer. I like take it off my bed and like whack him, and then the podcast mic would never be mentioned ever again. That
no.
would be like the only thing, because like that is a terrible weapon. I have a baseball bat back there,
Um,
but it's not the closest thing to my left hand, so I don't get to use that as an answer.
my closest thing, kid you not, is a softball bat. I keep it right by my bed.
All right.
Retreater. And the last person I messaged is my man, or not my man, my friend from Monticello.
Who are you referring to them as? Your face faded very quickly.
Like,
Well, I didn't hear the last words you said.
Monticello or whatever, Big Lake
Oh,
area. Yeah.
you just texted somebody from there. Oh,
Mhm.
that'd be an interesting movie. The
Yeah.
movie would be like you're both being chased by separate masked killers, and then you run into each other.
Oh,
That's the only way I would see that working.
no, like we see each other like in person, but like Big Lake is like an hour away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a good answer for this one. Next question. What is one thing you're tired of telling to explaining to people? Color blindness. I brought this up earlier. We can. It's the only type of color blindness is not black and white. Like, it's actually extremely uncommon to have monochromatic color blindness. In fact, the most common one is red green. Like, we might not be able to see a lot of colors, but we can still see color. Like, it's not that deep. I also really weird experience. At one point in time, a guy it was one of my teachers technically. Wasn't necessarily at the school, but it was a teacher. That's as much as I'll elaborate on him. But I told him, he was like at the beginning of class, he was like, I'm gonna use color, like these colored expo markers, so for color coding and stuff. If you're colorblind, tell me. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm colorblind. I don't think he said that. I think he just said he's gonna use color coding, and then I told him that I was colorblind just because I was worried that it was gonna be a problem. And he was
Hmm.
like, wait, so can you just not see this color? As in, like, could I physically not see it? Like, if he wrote on the board, like, he literally used that as an example. He's like, he took, like, I don't know, maybe it was, like, a pink one or something. I have no idea. I don't know what color it was. But he took, like, a pink one, wrote on the whiteboard, and was like, can you see that? And it's like, yeah. Like, he genuinely thought I just physically couldn't see it. Like, that color didn't exist. Like, he thought writing on the board with that, I just wouldn't be able to see it. I would just see a blank whiteboard. So that was an interesting experience. I've never had somebody think that before. Like, that you just physically can't see the color. Like, what do you. So, like, if you couldn't see the color brown, for example, or, like, if you can't see the color green, do you have X-ray vision? Can you see through grass? Like, what? What's the thought process there? So I was a little confused by that. He said that he's never had like to talk to somebody about color blindness before. Apparently, nobody he's ever talked to or any friends or family have it or anything. Like none, nada, because he had an interesting view of it. I mean, he was like very quickly like, oh okay, my bad. Like he was nice about it. He was just genuinely. I've never had somebody think that before, except that one time. Your turn.
Oh, I think it's explaining PCOS. It's a health condition that it's not common, but it messes with your hormones, which messes with your mood and like menstrual cycle and all of that. And it can lead to type 2 diabetes.
Hmm.
So it's really hard explaining to people about what it is and what it does and what I have to be careful about.
Okay. I know you're saying that you're tired of explaining it. Just a very quick question.
Mhm.
Can it also lead to type 1 diabetes or only type 2?
Type 1, you're born with, I believe.
Um, no, I've done a little bit of research. I think there is some ways that you can get type 1.
It's the most
I've
common
done
way.
a decent amount of research on diabetes because it kind of runs in my family. So I've done a decent amount of research on it. I think it does typically tend to be genetics, but like even if it's only but it's not like a guaranteed thing. It's not like, oh, your parents have it, you're gonna have it. It's like anybody in your family, even if they had type 2, not type 1, like anybody in your family had any type of diabetes, it doesn't matter when. It could have been multiple generations ago.
Mhm.
and they could have had it, and it won't show up until you're like in your 30s. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you are technically born with it, but like it's in your blood. It doesn't like, oh yeah, you're a baby, you have type 1 diabetes because this person had it. It's like,
Yeah.
well, there was a chance of you getting it, but you
Yeah.
didn't get it until you're 30. So it's like genetics, but you're not born with it,
Yeah.
like necessarily. It's kind of weird, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's type 2.
Okay. And then like the same thing for me. What is next question? What is something that's difficult for you but easy for most people? Color.
Hello.
Just color. It's unbelievable. It wasn't this week. It was like early last week at the lunch table. They had like two different Uno decks. Like they weren't the same theme.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like two different shades of each color. And they were like Jason, you want to play? And it's like, no, no, I'm not even gonna try because there's two shades of each color. Like I'm going to get it confused because it was like I don't even know but I saw like two wild cards from one from each theme, and like I
Yeah.
could visibly see like the green from one was really light, the green from other was really dark. The red from one was light, the red from other was dark. The yellow was like two different shades, the blue was two different shades. So it's like no, that's gonna get confusing. Like no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. No
Mhm.
thanks. I'll pass. So yeah, that's a difficult one for me. Pretty
um,
straightforward, I feel like.
I think for me, it's school. Not because I struggle in school, but it's because like a simple tapping on the desk or like even walking around the halls, I get like overstimulated and it's just like, get me out of here.
Yeah, I can't relate to that personally. I can be overstimulated, but it's something I struggle with. And then for the next question, we're completely flipping it around. What's something that's easy for you but difficult for most people? So this one is a little bit weird. I guess a really easy one I could say is a pull up. You can't see it, but there's a pull up bar right here for anybody on the podcast. There's one right here. I don't want to mess with my camera because it's like perfectly angled right now, but there's a pull up bar right here. I was doing stretches on it literally right before we started streaming. You can ask Izzy.
Yeah.
I was doing stretches on it right before, and and I don't know. I've talked to people at school. Like most of the people in our school can't even do one pull up, and that's just like what? Like you've got to be kidding me, guys! Like you can't even do one. Like you're telling me if you're hanging on the side of a city building, you have no chance of pulling yourself up. Like oh my god. And then push-ups are another one. Like a lot of people in our school can't do more than 10 push-ups. And it's like, guys, like literally at the esports meeting today, like
Mhm.
Calvin just as a joke, like Jason, give me 20, and I did 20, like with minimal like no hesitation. I mean, I waited for us to get into the room first so I could set
Mhm.
my backpack down because my backpack weighs 40 pounds.
Mhm.
And I mean, I've done push-ups with more than 40 pounds. I did a push-up after the robotics competition. I did do a push-up with my 90-pound backpack. Not 90 pounds. Where am I going? It was 60, I think.
It was more than
Wait,
60.
no, it was 70 because you stuck your 10 pounds in there, which the podcast knows about now. Yeah, you as a joke you put the 10 more pounds in there. I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even really notice. I just kind of like went along with it. I will say I did notice like this feels a little bit heavier. But then I was like I don't know, maybe I'm just getting tired. So I just kind of, it wasn't like that noticeable, but I did notice like, this feels heavier, but I kind of just went with it. But yeah, you snuck your stupid like two 5-pound handheld ones in there that I had to wait like a week to give back to you because you were like practically ghosting me. Practically. Not really, but practically. So
Yeah.
yeah, I did do a push up with 60 pounds, but yeah, the push up's a
Mhm.
big one for me. Like, I did those 20. Like, when we got in the room, took off my backpack and did 20. Like, no hesitation. And that was kind of it. I could have done more, honestly, but I don't want to be out of breath. Like I did 20 and I wasn't even like breathing hard. Like I was just chilling. Got up from 20 and was just having a good time. Like nothing happened. So yeah, I guess just kind of core muscle exercises, I guess, would be more general answer for me.
Um, for me, I think it's writing poetry. Honestly, because like I'd say I'm decent at it at least, or like good, but other people like have a hard time with it. I feel like, especially in this generation where like everything's digital and like there's AI and everything, and like people don't really read, and like to do poetry, you really have to understand this like sentence structure and like grammar to everything.
Fair enough. I don't know. I can like write some good like short quotes, but I don't know, like a full poetry thing. Like I don't know if I'd be able to do that. So yeah, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'd be able to if you gave me enough time, but it definitely wouldn't be quick. Next question. What were you severely underprepared for? Love. Yep.
For me, it's coming up a lot on this podcast, but especially this episode. But I think losing like I was adopted. I always had problems with problems with my parents, but like permanently losing one.
Yeah. That's pretty bad. Definitely not something easy to handle. Yeah, I would say I was underprepared for love. I don't think I really need to elaborate that much on that one. I was not prepared at all. Hit me like a truck when I was finally like, dang, I actually do have feelings with this person. Which I didn't even accept it. I'm gonna be completely honest. I've had a crush on them for 3 years. But I didn't really accept it and acknowledge it until I think literally like actually I probably wrote it down in my diary actually. We're going back. Give me a second. I can find exactly what day it was. I can find exactly what day it was. Give me a second. I have ways of finding things in my diary. I can find exactly what day it was. Give me a second. I gotta click rapidly. I have a way of organizing this, I swear. And this is my organization method. But I need to find a very specific number. Bam. Alright. It was... Yeah. March 22nd. I didn't acknowledge my feelings for her for 3 years until March 22nd. And then it hit me like a truck. I was severely underprepared for love. Took me 3 years. 3 years. Definitely was not prepared. What's your answer? Wait, no, you already answered. You were saying, yeah. Okay. I yapped too much. I yapped too much. I forgot your answer for a second. I remember it now. Next question. If you died today, what would be your biggest regret? Bro. Literally, like, oh my god, I feel like this, just like you were saying, how that one topic with like, your parents and like your dad and stuff was coming up too much this episode. This is coming up too much this episode, but I'm honestly fine with talking about it. Not getting my crush's number yet. It's something I plan on doing this year, hopefully before the school year ends, but I haven't done it yet. So if I died right now, this second, that would be my biggest regret. I've had the chance of getting it before, but I chickened out. So that would be my regret. Izzy,
Yeah.
what's your answer?
Um, I don't think meeting my dad when I had the chance.
Hmm, that's fair. Yeah, not much more to elaborate there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll probably not start another page. We
Probably.
did we did 22 questions. We probably would have only done 20, but there was two left on one page that we had to do. I think that's probably gonna be what we do every single time for Q&A. It's probably 20 questions, unless there's some reason that we're on a time constraint and then we only do 10 or like 15. But definitely multiples of 5. Hopefully, preferably multiples of 10, just because then we can like cross out pages as we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably end it there. I don't know about you, but I'd say that was a pretty crazy stream.
Crazy.
I was crazy once.
They locked me in a room.
A rubber room.
A rubber room with rats.
The rats made me crazy.
Crazy.
I was crazy one.